So there we are live, and this is weekly update number 47. Okay, so we're live on weekly update number 47, and I'm going to open the chat so I can see anybody who's in. I didn't publish this till just a few minutes ago. I completely forgot to get the thumbnail uploaded so everybody could see it was going to go live. And then last week's live was actually a bit of a disaster, I'm going to be honest with you, because I was watching the Three Kings parade in Malaga, and because it was during the day, I thought, oh, brilliant, we're going to be there in the evening. We'd arranged to go and have something to eat in Malaga as well. And I thought, I'll do the live from the main street in Malaga. So I did a sort of a test live. It all worked fine. And then I was in the Calle Lario, so you might have seen on the channel. And I did a walk up and down, and I was talking away. And unfortunately, for some reason, it would only let me go live then in portrait. And then it turns out there was no sound. Oh dear. So back to the drawing board with that. I would like to do some more out and about lives. I have my notes there in front of me as I was walking down the Christmas light street, Calle Larius, but there was two things happened. One, they published the lights were going to go off at 8 o'clock and they didn't. And I couldn't get it in landscape, and I couldn't get sound to work. So there you go. That's what happened. So I'm sorry about last week, but here we go. Oh, we've got some people dropping in to the chat already. Matt David, good evening from a freezing cold UK. Well, you can see behind me what it's been like today. And as I turn around, I can see I can probably do a cleaning the windows, to be honest with you. There we go. But yeah, it's been a beautiful day here. Sorry, David. Brian from Brisbane. Hey there, Brian. How you doing? I haven't seen in the chat. That's cool. Mick Phillips. Is it easier to import a car from France than the UK into Spain? Thanks, Mick. Well, the bit that you skip when you bring a car from France is the import agents, so aduanas, customs and excise. So if you bring a vehicle from the UK, if you qualify for change of residence, then if you've owned it for more than 6 months and you come into Spain to get residency, whichever format you're going to get residency, maybe it's a visa, maybe it's a working visa, maybe it's an EU family members, whatever, you can bring your car in tax-free, but you have to go to customs to pass it through. Okay, evidently it's likely to be a right-hand drive car. Now, if you bring a car from France, then you don't have to do the customs bits because it's an EU vehicle, but all of the rules and technical stuff apply. But evidently, if it's coming from France, it may be a left-hand drive as well. So yeah, it's easier in the fact that you don't have to go through customs, and it'd be cheaper if you didn't qualify for change of residency because you'd have to pay that customs. So and hey, Brian, we're chatting tomorrow, are we, Brian? I haven't got my calendar open. Cool. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Yeah, we'll have a great call. I'm looking forward to next week. Last week, the first week back, is always a bit crazy. And trust me, I'll be working into the night tonight to get caught up. But yeah, be looking forward to that call. I've got a trip to Vélez, Malaga, actually, first, and then onto a calls. Hey, Phil Parkin, how you doing? Cool. Got a few people in tonight. That's great. 7 people in. That's cool. I'm enjoying it. We're nearly at 4,000 subscribers as well. I'm so over the moon for that. That's cool. I want to get 5 by the end of the year. Right then, so let's have a look at what I was going to talk to you about visas and residency. So again, I've got a bit of the stuff that I've got is delayed because I was going to talk to you about it last week. So what I've done is I've got half of this week's together with next week's. I'm going to put it all together. A little bit from this week I'm saving for next week. But let's talk about the visa turnaround times. At the moment, Manchester is just, it's a disaster. We've got a couple now on 14 weeks again. They sent a requirement letter out for further information requested for financials to a client of ours after 14 weeks they've been holding the passport. I mean, come on, sort it out. You can't leave people hanging for that long and then send these kind of letters out. I think that's just wrong. I have to say, it's horrible. But yeah, if you are applying through Manchester and you've gone over the 3 months, then you're not alone. There's lots of people who are like that at the moment. I don't really go on Facebook, guys, so that much on the groups and stuff, so I don't see the comments, but I have heard from other people that there's a lot of people on there complaining about the waiting time going way over the 3 months. We've had that experience as well. with clients. So you're not alone if that is if you're going through Manchester and you've been waiting a long time. As for London and Edinburgh, well, London, we've got a visa through in 66 days, which included Christmas, which was great. And another one from Edinburgh, which was 67 days, which included Christmas. So they're looking around the 2-month part, which isn't, that's not good for London. London normally a lot quicker than that. But anyway, we did have Christmas in between. So 60 days to get a visa isn't too bad. But we did have a problem with Edinburgh with the delivery of a passport, where they just sent one passport out. And there was confusion for a couple of days of where the other passport was from the couple who had applied, and then just randomly it turned up at the address which was on their application form, which wasn't the correspondence address that they were sending it to. And luckily it got forwarded to them and they got it in the end, but it does look like they'd actually forgotten to put the passport in the envelope, and then they just forwarded it to the first address that they saw, because if they'd have actually used the envelope which was filled out at the appointment, they'd have seen it's a different correspondence address. So yeah, there was a bit of confusion there, but at least they are coming out. And whatever notes do I have? Oh yeah, and another one from London from 54 days. So there you go. That's the visas we've had out. So 6 visas out since Christmas already. So hey, that's not bad. Manchester at the moment. In terms of the renewals, well, the renewals, they're coming through okay, but again, they're taking their time. We had some through Malaga, which were bordering a 90-day point after expiry, which isn't a problem when it comes to register them here in Spain, because you can get the appointment and everything's okay. But it does become a problem with things like banks, because the banks are always asking and hassling people for their updated residency card. And I think it's my son there. Updated residency cards, and it's just not as simple as getting an updated residency card, is it? You need the approval, the TIA appointment, which are running in a month's time at the moment in Malaga, or even 2 months' time. I've seen them this month for March already. But if you desperately need your card, now for our clients, we sort of have a balance where we have a sheet where every day we look at it and we revise the appointments which are available and see what fits. Certainly in Malaga, if you're applying in Malaga for what they call a toma de huella, so a taking of the fingerprints appointment to register your visa, if you suddenly see appointments in March and that doesn't fit the bill, you've got 2 choices. You can either book one, but make sure you keep your codes. So if you see one come up early, you cancel it and rebook, because quite often in Malaga, last minute, they will release appointments for the following week. So it's a good tip that they don't. In Malaga, we've seen that an awful lot. And other big news in residency, obviously, is the golden visa. It's going. They're getting rid of it. So the golden visa is going on the 3rd of April. And basically what they've done, so let's just explain what they've done, which is very similar to what they did with the 183-day rule, which is going to be reintroduced in a law this year. I've got a very interesting YouTube comment coming to explain that. What they've done is the Ley de Emprendedores, which is the investment law, which was passed in 2013 here, included people being able to invest in Spain to get residency. That's the rule. That's the law that was also updated with digital Nomad and highly qualified professionals. And the law was passed really to generate investment in Spain back in 2013. Well, the part that said if you're an investor, so that means an investment in a €500,000 property or more, or various properties, €1 million in or a cash asset in a bank in Spain, or some sort of financial entity in Spain, or 2 million in public debt. Now, we thought they were only going to get rid of the part which related to property, because Sanchez, the government, they said that it was to help people, not monopolize the property market, which was completely, in my opinion, rubbish. I mean, there's absolutely no young Spaniards who are going to be stopped by an apartment because someone's spending €500,000 on one, because, I don't think even with some of the best wages here, they'll be getting that, be able to jump into that straight away. Maybe people were buying apartment blocks and leaving them empty. I don't know. Maybe that kind of speculation was happening. I don't know, but I can't see how it's going to affect the property market at all, getting rid of this law. But they got rid of the other two as well. Basically, the capital investment into various financial products in Spain. And I can't understand why. Why wouldn't you want people to buy public debt? I don't think it was aimed particularly at the Brits. I think it was more of a Chinese and a Russian sort of influence as to stopping maybe people from those countries investing. I don't know, but it is what it is. I think the EU wanted to get rid of it as well, and Spain need to comply. Portugal have gone along and done it as well. So hey, it is what it is. So yeah, but they got rid of the golden visa, and that is finishing on the 3rd of April. So you still have time to submit the application if you have bought a property and you've got the taxes paid on the purchase of that property, or if you've already got a property here in Spain, you intend on using it, now's the time to do it. In our office, our main office in Alcalá de la Torre, we've decided now that's it, we're not doing them anymore, but we do have a great colleague who's picking up all our cases, and she's going to be doing them. So if you are interested, just let me know. And she works closely with us, and we'll help you to do that. And what have we got? Oh, we've got some more people on the chat today. We've got 9 people watching now. Hey, Mark Phillips, is it easier? Oh, hang a minute. Here we go. I have to learn how to use the chat, don't I, really? Phil Parker said, hi, Steve Morris, 2025 will be our year to do a big move to Spain with your help at Chris at Upsticks. Yes, Steve, looking forward to that. 2025. I'm really looking forward to this year. We've got I don't know, I'm excited for it because it's our sort of 5th year since Brexit, believe it or not. And we've got a huge year with the renewals coming up. So the withdrawal agreement renewals, we're going to do some shows on that. But and we've got some big plans for our NLV service. So we're going to be switching it up a bit and doing a bit more. We use a lot of emails, calls, and PDFs and forms to fill out. But we've got some plans on how to make things a lot smoother for people. So yeah, that's quite exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2025 this year. I really am. Okay, so that is really what we've got to talk about with residencies. And one last thing I had here with residencies. EPREM. EPREM, as you know, is what determines how much money you need for your visa as a couple, as an individual, or as a family. At the moment, they haven't yet published if it's going to be updated, but they have updated the website to say 2025 is going to be the same as 2024. So at the moment, EPREM hasn't changed. So if you're going for a non-lucrative visa, then EPREM is exactly the same as it was actually in 2023 at the moment. But we're going to do an updated video on that. I think it might stay there. I know everybody's talking about the 5% rise. I don't know. Let's see where it goes. But yeah, EPREM at the moment hasn't changed. So it's 28,800 euros for an individual and 36,000 euros for a couple if you're applying. Okay, then, right. So now let's talk about our YouTube channel. And here we go. So I need to bring up the, here we go, here's the content. I've got it all organized today. Not like last week, I can tell you that. So first of all, let's start with a bit of a review on the, we've got some more comments coming in. Ian Butterworth, I bought a part-built property last year. As yet, the building has not started. Am I best to get a padron? If you live here, yes. Ian, if you live here, get a padron. If you don't, then no. You shouldn't be on the padron if you don't live here. That you will see there's a few town halls which may encourage people to get on the padron if they're not resident here. Is wrong. You shouldn't be. If you're resident here, you're living here, get on the padron. If not, then no. That's the basic rule. Or am I best to wait until it's finished? Well, it depends. Say you're living here, Ian, and let me know if you are. Okay, so if you're a resident and you're living here, then you need to be on the padron where you're living. So if it's an unfinished house and you're living somewhere else, then you need to be registered at the address where you're living in Spain. If you're sort of living in the house which you're building, and that's your only address in Spain, then you need to be registered there. But you do need to be registered wherever you are living in Spain. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the videos for you guys to review. So first of all, I did this video here, which is talking about the new on Article 64, Section F, the 183 days rule being reintroduced for NLV renewals. Check that video out. It's very interesting because on May the 20th, they will be reintroducing the rule, 183-day rule, which actually I'm going to comment more on that in a minute. So we'll leave that for the time being. Now we've got a couple of podcasts. I've managed to get some people on, and it's quite exciting because I've also put them on Spotify as well. And our last podcast was from Bobby, the pet chauffeur, and he was brilliant. Came on, check him out. Got to thank Stu, Joanne, and Waffles for that referral to me for the podcast, and we had a great chat. And you can check that out in our videos. You can also check it out on Spotify now, because someone mentioned to me the other day about listening to them, and on YouTube, when you've got your phone open, if you put it in your car or something like that, you get the adverts, and then sometimes your phone closes, and that stops it coming through the speakers. So I investigated. I've always wanted to be on Spotify, so then now the audio is now published on Spotify. All you got to do is search for Upsticks in podcasts and Spotify. So we've got this was a great podcast from Sean, expat in Matheron, where Jan, his wife, joined us as well, but I don't think she realized we were on a podcast at the time. Now Sean has got 3 channels. He's got Sean the Drone, retiring to Spain, and his expat in Matheron. I don't know how he keeps up with it all. I really don't. He must be busier than me trying to balance three channels, and they're all great channels. So, you know, Sean's a well-loved character there in Matheron and across the YouTube community. So definitely check that out. And then our live from last week, not this Saturday, but the previous Saturday, we were talking about the 183-day rule for Spanish residency, which has been introduced with Scats. There you go. He also had on Rochelle talking about the digital nomad visa yesterday, which was a particularly good show. Rochelle, she's made that. Rochelle, the witch, she's made the digital nomad visa her speciality, and she really, really, really does know her stuff regarding that visa. Right, so let's get on to our comments for the day, shall we? And let's start from here. So this is on the Sean's podcast, Peter 7066. Thanks for the video. Happy 2025. Happy 2025 to you, Peter. Our turn now. We love Sean. Was he talking about us? I don't know. I was in touch with him about the Jones. We have a YouTube channel, and we're supposed to retire next year. This was, I think. Unfortunately, I've cut that comment off. But our turn now. Drop me a comment, please, on this video, because I know you guys have got a great channel. I've actually subscribed here now. And John McClue. Oh, John, I haven't spoken to you for a while. Looking good, guys. Thanks, mate. I haven't seen you for a while. I haven't seen you on the channel. So hope all's going well there, and you're enjoying life. Some more comments here. This one was on the Studio and Waffles, the Real Life Stories podcast, and we've got more of these coming up for you. Hi, Chris. Love this podcast. How did they manage with getting their passport stamped in France, Spain? Well, in this case, Thomas, and I've got some more comments of yours I'll run through tonight and answer, Thomas. We used the proof that they'd crossed over into the country. So you've got hotel bills, receipts, etc., etc. If you go on our website, though, there is a article which is called Declaración de Entrada, and it explains that how you can get a entry declaration if you come through France within 72 hours of entering the country. The honest truth is, you are supposed to do it, but we've never had a problem for people who haven't managed to, as long as we've got the stamp going into France and the proof of people entering Spain. The only thing that could be detrimental to that is at times they will just give you the start date from the start date of your visa, of your residency, rather than the stamp going into France. So, but we haven't had a problem so far. Patrick Connell, how you doing, Patrick? A different perspective, Chris, and very interesting. Well done to you and your guests. Happy Christmas to all. Thanks for that. That's yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed that podcast, and it's something we've spoken about for a while, and we're putting into action now this year. So, real life stories. Thomas, yeah, hi Chris, love this podcast. How did I've already done that one. Oh no, but the bottom one I hadn't done. That's why. For Vicky Burgess, we have been trying to get an appointment to fly for Manchester from the 6th of December with no appointments available showing on the system in the near future. It's so frustrating as some type documents are time sensitive. Yes, you are absolutely right. It was frustrating. The whole of December with Manchester was frustrating, and the turnaround times is frustrating as well. I don't know, excuse me, why they didn't open appointments till last minute. They are now open. You can now get them, but it was horrible over Christmas. They just didn't open them until way after the new year. Going back to our comments here, Ian says, no, not yet. You're not moved over. Well, look, you don't need to sign on the Padron if you haven't moved over. It's not advisable. And oh, look, I realised you can show comments. Here we go. Seed Mice will be our 2025 a big move. It will be our year, big move to Spain with your help. Yeah, it's going to be good. That's going to be good. Right, and so what else have we got going on here? And we've got a comment here from Zoe, who's had their appointment now, just waiting for the visa to land and an exciting life in Granada. Thanks so much for your help so far. We really appreciate everything you've done. We actually won twice on El Gordo, not enough to change our life suddenly, but the tickets were gifts from local friends and enjoy spending the winnings on some decent Rioja with them on our return. Please add your $9. Well, you must be in with the locals if they give you El Gordo tickets, I can tell you that. And that is definitely a sign of friendship from a Spaniard if they give you one of those tickets. It's one of those things where before Christmas, say, for example, you're going out with a friend or a mate and you're in a bar and you see they've got the tickets hanging up. And this starts earlier in the year. It's not just at Christmas. This could start in September, November. You see you've got them. It's quite if you're going with somebody, maybe somebody you work with, it's quite a nice thing to buy 2 tickets and share them. And yeah, it's we do that quite often with the Omfy lottery as well during the year. And in case, hi Chris, a big well done to both of you on this podcast from both of us. Here's to a healthier 2025 all round. Yep, that was on the cancer scats treatment podcast, which was if you're know anybody with cancer or who needs, to know what the process is, it'd be worth looking at that. Scats gives us his cancer journey. It's done well, that podcast. A lot of nice comments on there. And here we go. 183-day rule returns to Spain. Non-lucrative visa changes what you need to know. Thanks for the video. Regarding 10 months outside of Spain in the 5 years temporary residency, does that include all of the countries, Schengen countries also? It doesn't. You have to stay in Spain, which raises a question. Why and how would they know that you've crossed over the border if you've driven? So if you go to Portugal or something like that, how would they know that you have driven there? Well, I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that it doesn't include staying in other Schengen countries. You cannot be more than 10 months outside of Spain during the first 5 years. So, and we've got some more comments here. One from Pete Budgie. Finally managed to get an appointment at BLS Manchester. We've been trying every day since 8th December and none have been available. This is Manchester again. Today, 2nd Jan, they're back on. Thankfully, was beginning to lose hope. Yeah. It was a nightmare. We commented on that update. Patrick also said another good one, Chris. Ultramarathon. Wow. Yes, I used to run ultramarathons. You won't believe it to see me now. But yes, I did. Knees probably wouldn't make it now. And we did a video about the amazing illusion light show in the Botanic Garden, so it's definitely worth a visit, as Patrick says there. And here we had a comment in Spanish. I'm going to read it out to you. Los que quieren venir a España, que aprenden español. Eso es lo más importante. Espero que eso cambie y que no den la residencia a nadie si no saben el idioma, por respeto. So translate that, it means all the people who want to come to Spain should learn Spanish. This is the most important thing. I hope this changes and they don't give residency to anybody if they don't know Spanish. So I'll reply in Spanish. Please comment. Entonces, voy a contestar esto en español, porque por respeto de usted, Oscar Santas 6528. Es cierto que hay mucha gente que vive aquí que no habla español, pero te voy a decir, de entre nuestros clientes hay mucho esfuerzo para aprender. Es imposible casi aprender un idioma antes de venir a vivir en un país. Pero yo te puedo garantizar que todo el mundo que viene aquí con nosotros, con los visados, tienen un esfuerzo para aprender, ¿vale? De hecho, que es un mercado bastante grande y hay zonas que gente no tiene que aprender español porque viven en zonas de la costa donde todo el mundo habla inglés. Pero para la nacionalidad, sea que tiene un cierto nivel, pero para una residencia no, lo puedes conseguir sin hablar español. Y yo lo veo correcto, si te digo honestamente. ¿Vale? Un nivel sí deberían tener, un esfuerzo sí deberían tener, pero es imposible aprender un idioma antes de venir a vivir en un país. Así que, Oscar, lo siento, no estoy de acuerdo. So, we're going to carry on with the next one. I don't agree with Oscar. Our clients try really hard to learn Spanish when they come, and I've seen some great efforts from people over the years, but it's impossible to learn the language before you come. You'll never learn it. I'm 25 years I've been here, and I'm still learning bits and bobs. And here we go from the 1-8. Oh, residency law approved. Geez, long and boring. Yeah, I've got a few comments like that on that one. I was trying to line it up for more videos coming, but hey, if it was long and boring, it means you watched it to the end. So we got the watch time, so that was cool. And oh, Anna and Kez are on the chat. Hola, Chris. Sorry, a bit late joining tonight. We thought it was 7 p.m. So all was set. A new reminder of 6:30 on Sundays. Yes. So we're going to do it between 6 and 9 on a Sunday, but I have been managing normally to stick to 6:30. I hope I can, because this is normally the time of the evening where we're all getting ready now for tomorrow. You know, kids are going to get ready for school, and I'm getting ready doing my emails. I don't normally send them out on a Sunday, but I program them for the next day, and just getting ourselves lined up. So normally I'm sat in front of the computer, hence why we do it this time. And like last week, where I was out and about, and I thought, oh, I'd be clever and do it out, and it didn't happen. But yeah, normally it's going to be 6:30 on a Sunday evening. It brings me to my next comment. Bodori 1210 also had a comment on the previous video as well that I did about the changes of residency law, and has a comment on our 183-day video. I'm sure you have a tame lawyer who guides you. I really appreciate their insight into how Spanish government reintroduced exactly the same rule that Supreme Court has said was unlawful. The Supreme Court ruled that the offending article 1622E of Real Decreto, that's RD means Real Decreto, 557/2011 was contrary to the organic law, Article 5.1 and 3.1 of Ley Orgánico, LO means Ley Orgánico, for 2000. And aside, this was nothing to do with the EU. The Supreme Court stated, SC means Supreme Court, stated that if the government wanted such a rule, it must first introduce a parliamentary bill to amend the organic law. Yet it appears that the government, in introducing the latest secondary legislation, RD 1155/2024, has ignored the Supreme Court and reintroduced exactly the same rule. How? Well, I can tell you that there is a huge judicial process to go through when it comes to approving a Real Decreto. They don't just sneak it in. They first have to make public the draft, then the public and professionals can comment on that draft. It then goes to the Consejo de Gobierno, goes to the Consejo de Ministros. It then has to pass through the Parliament and it has to be approved, and it takes an awful long time. The truth is, they have reintroduced, so that they don't. I believe that they wouldn't consider it reintroducing. They would consider it as a new article in that law, because it doesn't say it's a reason for extinction of the residency. It's a reason to be denied the renewal. So it's quite a clever way of putting it. That said, if somebody in the future was denied a renewal, then they could effectively do what the person did who got the initial law annulled, and they could take the government to court, take it all the way up to the Supreme Court, and then they would answer this question that you've asked here and say, oh, actually, we believe that what you've done is illegal. But at the moment, it's what's going to happen, and it's on the 20th of May when that happens. Okay, so there's your answer. The other thing I'd like to comment is that your first line, I'm sure you have a tame lawyer who guides you. It's quite a rational assumption, seeing as you don't know us. But I can absolutely, honestly assure you that everybody in the Upsticks team puts 110% into their work, and there's absolutely nobody tame. Nobody tame. There's nobody tame. I can tell you they're all very, very, very professional people. I personally get very protective about my team, because Upsticks for me is a dream that I had, and it is now coming to reality. And now we've got the next 5 years ahead of us. And I can tell you that everybody puts 110% into every single thing that we do. And there's definitely nobody tame on there. And I also didn't need anybody to advise me, because I can answer that question myself. So there we go. But if you do want to know the process of getting the law approved, I found this video published by the government, and you can go on YouTube, find that out, and it will tell you exactly how the law is published and the process it has to go through, the tramitación parlamentaria, to get that done. So I hope that answers your question. Right then, let's go on to the fun bit, which is Spain. Now I'm going to try and find my Spain widget. Again, the sound didn't work on that. I'm going to have to come up with a better widget this year, aren't I? You might have seen in my recent video from the Three Kings that I've been experimenting with my 360-degree camera. Now, I haven't quite got the hang of it yet. There's a stitch line in it, which I can't quite get right yet. And also, the software is quite hard to use. But I've been using it as B-roll, and I'm going to do some more of that to show you different things in Spain from different angles. So check it out, though. Also check out the 360 videos on our channel. They're really cool, but you have to go to the quality button and make sure you're looking at it at the highest quality. Look at it on Wi-Fi, because there's just so much internet, it's unbelievable. But I've got a 360 video of the whole of the Calle Lario. So if you want to experience walking down the main street in Malaga, you can do that. And talking about the Three Kings, this was probably my favorite float that we saw. We were very lucky to be sat right at the front, because a friend of mine gave us tickets to sit right at the front of the parade. And I love this float here with Captain America, and I think that's Baby Hulk. I'm not too sure. There's Superman and Batman in the background as well. So what's that? Is that the Avengers? I think so. But I thought that was quite good. And we're moving on now to, this was quite an interesting thing that I saw the other day. This was in Malaga as well. AOVE. Now, I haven't seen this abbreviation a lot, to be honest with you. And would you know what that means if you saw that on a menu? What it means is aceite de oliva virgen extra. So it's your olive oil, basically, but it's telling you that that is extra virgin olive oil, algae. Now, I had to look at that twice and go, oh, what's that? I thought it was, I needed it because I was in a bit of a rush, as always. I was looking at it going, oh, what's that? Is that some sort of avocado or something? And then we realized what it was. So, algae, if you see that on a menu, that means that's virgin olive oil with tomato on a piece of toast. And talking about that, I wanted to show you this place here. So we went to Antiquaire. Unfortunately, I can't find the photo of the actual breakfast itself. Excuse me. Gonna sneeze. No, I'm not going to sneeze. Love these roadside cafes. Excuse me. La Dehesa, which is on the road going up to Antiquaire from Malaga, and we had a great breakfast there for around €20. As we had to go inland to do some stuff, and check this out. Just Google it. Dehesa in Antiquaire. Great place to get one of those sturdy and hearty inland breakfasts. And I have got a video coming of that breakfast. I just haven't published it yet, but it's all there, filmed, ready to go. And you can see the price of the menu of the day, still €13 from Monday to Friday, and the weekend it's €16.50. But €13 for a 3-course meal isn't bad, is it? You know, over there in Antiquaire. I've got some. Here we go. This is from Stu and Joanne. They were in the Bol Nuevo beach. I'm definitely going to this beach in this coffee shop here. This is in Bol Nuevo in Murcia near Mazaron. It's called Colonia, and they had a huge breakfast there. Look at that. That's very continental breakfast, isn't it? There. Can I see fried eggs at the top there as well? And looks like it was a lovely day out there. It's crazy how the landscape's different over there in Murcia. Eh? East to Andalusia. Andalusia, some parts are a lot greener, to be honest. But then if you start going out towards Almeria way, then it starts looking like that before you get to Murcia. What else have we got to show you here? Yeah, while we're in, I'm going to show you this first. So this was in Malaga. Now this was after the Kings. A good bit of advice, and watch the video, is we thought it was going to be impossible to find somewhere to eat. And we went past this restaurant, very nice restaurant, which was called Emmy. This one here, Emmy. The Mariano is slightly pricey, but very nice. And we ordered this, and this is goat rice, believe it or not. And they call it soupy goat rice. So it's paella caldoso de chivo. And I was like, oh, that, and it came with like sort of a pickled chili on top of it, and it was absolutely amazing. And we ordered 2 plates, and we shared it between us. So we did a starter, which was just croquetas, and the plates of rice are actually €25 each. But then because there's so much of it in 2 plates, you can divide it between 4 of you. And my kids, trust me, have got an appetite as well. So yeah, but if you ever see soupy rice, caldoso, always try it. It's just amazing. And they've got to get it right, because if they don't do it right, then the rice can become stodgy. And a nice restaurant, they just had it right. The rice was on point, and it was just warm enough, and it was fabulous. And talking about food, because we do like a bit of food, this is another thing that we've had over the Christmas holiday. Now, this is an Iberian mixed grill, which we had in Antiquaire. Now, Antiquaire, the inland, is inland from Malaga, big city. And the reason I took a photo of this is because you might be able to see there in the middle that the lomo, this bit here, is slightly raw in the middle. Okay, and you're thinking, it's all pork. You're thinking, what on earth? Why on earth would they serve you raw pork? That's just crazy. And the truth is, this bit at the bottom is like, they call it falda, it's like skirt, or secreto, which is a slightly different cut. But the reason they serve it slightly raw is because it's that good. It's that good. The pork fed with acorns. and they do serve it like that, slightly pink in the middle. It's that good. It's like beef, shall we say, when you have it. And trust me, we didn't get ill from it. But you do pay a premium for Iberian meat if it is 100% acorn fed. That said, this plate, which was €35 inland, I'm just going to show you this photo. Right, this is Lara and Upsticks Drive and my daughter Isla. Just look at the size of it. So that plate was €35, but it was for all of us. You know, so we all sat there. It's a lovely place, right next to a park as well, so the kids could play before the food came. And so dividing it between four of you is a great deal, considering it's top-notch food, and you wouldn't want anything else. Yeah, the bill comes to around €50 with drinks. I mean, hey, that's not bad for lunch, is it? I mean, where would you get that? What's that, €50? What's that, 42, 43 quid? I mean, incredible. And what does that? Ant and Kes said, €13 will be 18 or 20 here, even in rural France. Really? Yeah, it's yeah, we've seen the prices go up a lot, to be honest with you. We really have. Here it's got a lot more expensive, but at the same time, it's got a lot more expensive everywhere, I think. So you know, I think compared to everybody else, we're still quite cheap. As I say, over the Christmas period, you can spend a lot of money if you want to going out, but like if you have that mixed grill, look, maybe instead of getting individual plates, look for something you can share. Spanish will do that. And I saw that. I said, look, it's got chips, it's got meat, different cuts of meat. There's one bit of meat which is done well. There's one bit of meat which is slightly raw. That's going to suit all of us. And don't be scared to, if it comes and it's not quite warm enough, ask them to go and cook it again or to warm it up if it's not to how you like it. Don't be scared to take food home. Very often, we always take our doggy bag with us, and even if it's not me eating it, or it'll be the cats or the chickens, or have it from a dinner the next day at work. But don't be scared to take a doggy bag with you. And we quite often find it's a lot cheaper to get one plate to share for everybody. And this brings me to, what else have we got going on? We've got 42 minutes, but we've got 9 people watching, so we're going to carry on. And this here, now I took this photo last night. Now, after this weekend, we've been to 2 birthday parties this weekend in this bar, which is called Monaghan's, which actually you can see there on the right hand side. There's the barber shop, which is it's actually a barber shop incorporated in an Irish pub in the middle of Alarin de la Torre. It's a great place to go, and it's very, very, very strange. So it's called Monaghan's, and when you go in, it's completely an Irish pub inside, but you never see anybody who's a foreigner in there. Well, that's a lie. You can see the odd foreigner in there, but it's 100% Spanish, and it's so supportive. It's like people going there, everybody's got pints. There was Murphy's Red on, there's Guinness on, they've got IPAs on. They have bands on which play Spanish music, but it's a pub environment, but it's completely Spanish inside. I was in one as well in Almeria a few years ago now, and it's just crazy how you sort of feel like you're a pub at home, but you're just absolutely not. And we've been to 2 birthday parties this weekend there, which is fantastic. A couple of friends of ours from the same office block had a 39th birthday party. And the Friday evening, there was a birthday party happening there. We'd actually got together with some friends who hadn't seen over the whole of Christmas with their children. And it's a very children-friendly environment. I wouldn't take them after around 11 o'clock because that's when the bands start. But the reason I took this photo wasn't to tell you about me drinking pints of Murphy's Red at the weekend. It was just look at that. That is the 10th of January. Everybody sat outside. That was at about 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, and you wonder why people move. And this is all Spaniards. This isn't foreigners there. That's all Spaniards, all sat outside, got the coats on, but enjoying life at 1 o'clock in the morning outside a pub. And it's always very relaxed. That just brings me on to my last thing of the day. Okay, so I wanted to, because of one of my passions here is I love gardening. And I used to have an allotment 3 years ago, and I had it for 5 years. And sadly, I didn't really get it on the channel back then. I would have loved to, because we grew some amazing things. But when I moved out into the country a little bit, I had to give up the allotment. And unfortunately, I never really got one going here, because the allotment where I was, there was a guy who basically managed the watering. So you had your own irrigation systems down, and you just turned up and did the nice bit, which was picking the weeds, planting the plants, and everything else was managed for you, basically. But I have started, guys. I have started. So here you go. Here's my efforts today. Because my arm's been a bit cream crackered as well, I haven't been working, but I had one of my friend's sons has been helping me. Now that just looks like a patch of mud to you, doesn't it? But I can assure you that there, in those 4 lines there, we have planted onions, leeks, and abas, which are broad beans. So I'm growing the broad beans from scratch, from seed, and the leeks and onions are their little plants that you buy 10 cents each. I spent the grand total of €13 in the seed shop, and here you go. And I also put in some red cabbage, some what they call them, coles de Bruselas, which is Brussels sprouts, and some normal cabbage, and I think I put some cauliflowers as well. So they're all planted, and you can see there's not an awful lot going on because it's only gone in today, but I am going to be giving you my plant updates. And as we were going through and digging up, I put my my drink down, and we've let our chickens out. And because we normally have them locked away, they've got a huge run, they don't have to go anywhere. But after a year or so, I thought, you know what, they need to come out, and let them out during the day, and at night time they go back. We just close the gate. But the problem with that is there's suddenly a lack of eggs, you know, because they're not locked in the same place. So you have to go rummaging. And this is what I found today. So they found themselves a nice little place to go and lay the eggs when they've been out and about. There you go. So now, unfortunately, I've got to rummage to try and find my eggs in the bushes. And who knows how many eggs are laid around. There's no cockerel either, so none of them are going to hatch. So there we go. Okay, then. Well, guys, I think that's about it for today. I've rambled on for 47 minutes, and there's 9 of you watching, which is amazing. These weekly updates are getting better. So next week is weekly update number 48, if you can't believe it. Yeah, and we'll have lots to talk about, lots more about Spain. Remember, if you haven't got any photos or anything, just drop them to an email, chris@upsticks.es, and we will show them, and just let me know whereabouts you guys are and any info that might interest people. Okay then, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week. And check out, we've got a couple of videos coming out during the week. I've got 2 podcast recordings, one with Jeremy, the IFA, again, that's happening on Tuesday. I've got Jill from Currencies Direct coming on, and there's a lot more people lined up this year. So don't forget, you can check the podcasts on Spotify as well. So please go to Spotify and put the podcasts on, put them on in the background. Let's get some listening time on there. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.